All right, students, welcome to the live stream for our ACT classroom program. If you guys are joining us for the first time today, let us know. Let us know that you're here. So everybody should see a live chat. I'm Chase, by the way. If you guys haven't seen one of these live streams before, I'm Chase. I will be your conductor, your teacher going through this program. Guys, if you're online right now and you're just here to listen to or you have general questions, can you guys just hang tight for a second? If you're here to take the practice test with us as part of the program, or if you're here to take a practice test with us, we're going to get you guys started and ready to go for the ACT. And then I'll answer any general questions as I sit online for about an hour afterward to make sure that there aren't any questions from our test takers. But as you guys jump on here, can everybody just say hello? And then again, if you have any general questions about the program, about the ACT, okay, then just hang tight for just a second. For everybody else that is in the classroom program, can you guys give me a thumbs up or a hello in the chat so I know you guys are here? Hi everyone, welcome guys. Hi Lottie, welcome. I know you're taking the practice test today. Guys, if you are taking the practice test today, so just to give everybody some clarity, we have students taking a full practice test today. If you guys ever want to join one of these practice tests, then you absolutely can. If you just have general questions about the ACT or the SAT, just hang tight for a second. We're going to get everybody started with the practice test before we begin. Lachlan, welcome. I know you're taking the practice test. All right, so guys, just hang tight for just a second. And then we'll get started here. Lottie, Lachlan, Robert, can you guys all give me a thumbs up that you guys have your practice test here and ready to go today? Practice test here and ready. Everybody should see that post in the classroom group. Yeah, curious. Just just hang tight for 1 second, guys. Okay, if you guys are taking the October SAT, I'm going to answer general questions as soon as we get started here with the practice test. When everybody gets started, so just hang tight for just a second, and then we'll get started. Guys, if you are taking the practice test with us today, can you give me a thumbs up that you have your materials ready? Perfect. Okay, and then we will get started here in just a second. If you're taking the practice test with us today, perfect. Okay, if you're taking the practice test with us today, guys, perfect. That's great. Guys, again, we'll answer any general questions about the testing. If you have any information, or if you guys have any questions, okay, regarding the SAT or the ACT in general, we'll answer those as soon as we get everybody off and going here. Curious if you guys are interested in taking the practice test with us today or joining the program. You guys can find the materials always in the description below this video. We have all of our ACT and SAT fully released tests. Guys, just hang tight for a second. The October SAT won't be postponed. But again, just hang on for a second if you guys have any general questions. All right, so everybody that is taking the practice test today, we're going to get started with a short warm-up. So can everybody make sure that you guys have your StarU student accounts open? So anybody that's taking the test and then anybody that's joining us for the lessons tomorrow for the program, that anybody that's in the program, that's in the classroom, okay? I want everybody to make sure that they've created a StarU student account. So download StarU. I'm going to pull this up in the background of my screen, guys. If you're interested in joining our classroom program going forward, we'll start with the first lesson tomorrow. We'll have that as a private lesson. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can click on the links in the description below this. Okay, if you're interested in joining our classroom program, and that will be available to just classroom program students. So I encourage you guys to look at that. Check out our membership program if you click the join button below this video as well. But in any case, guys, today I want to get us started. So everybody that's taking the practice test today, I want you guys to click on that link that I just posted and or download StarU in the App Store or on Google Play. And I want everybody to be ready to go because it's very, very important, guys, as we start this test, as you guys start practicing. Lachlan, I'll get to that in just a second as well. So just hang tight on in terms of what we're going to do after the test. Well, I'll explain it. And I'll also post this in the classroom group, guys. So don't worry, you guys are going to have full instructions on what to do afterwards. Okay? But before we get going, I want to make sure that everybody downloads StarU and creates a student account because the most important thing you guys can do before this test starts is to warm up. There are going to be so many things, right? For better, for worse, this test means a lot in terms of the college application process. Okay? And it's going to mean a lot for everybody that's watching this if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior. Even with test optional, I want everybody to remember that test optional is, first of all, it's a great thing. But unless you're doing test optional was designed so that students who do exceptionally well in every other aspect but just can't figure out the test, right? That's what. But we've had students that have. If you're going to not submit a test score, Georgetown, as an example, just came out with stats that 92% of their accepted class this year. This was the first year Georgetown was test optional. 92% of their accepted class did submit a test score. So what that tells us, of course, guys, is that if you're in the top 10 or 15% in everything else that you do, like you're exceptional in every other aspect, and you can't figure out this test, and that's why test optional is such a good thing. But if you're trying to use this test as a means to basically, or you're not going to submit a test because you think it's test optional, it's not going to work, right? They're really making it so that students who can't take the test are allowed, but everybody in this group will have an opportunity to take the test now, right? We're getting beyond this pandemic thing. Cancellations are happening less and less frequently. So if you're a junior or sophomore, it's very important that you really think about this test. And then the beauty of it is that it takes some pressure away from it. The test optional allows you to take this without so much pressure. So there's a million different things that if you take this test seriously, and we have this test optional status at different universities, you're in great positions, right, as you start to apply to college. I just want everybody to remember that as we kind of take the next steps forward. Okay, so everybody should download, like I said, download StarU. You guys can see it in the background of my screen. It's free to download, and I'd like everybody to do this now to create their free StarU student account. And the reason that this is so important, guys, is because within the StarU account, you can do this on your phone. When you're standing in line waiting to register for the exam on the actual exam day, I don't want you guys to just be sitting there talking to your friends or doing the whole thing that every high school student in the world does. It's like, it's so early on Saturday morning, I'm going to fail this, right? Everybody's in that same position, right? It's not like you're special because you had to wake up early. Every single person that's going to take this test is in that same position. So we got to figure out how we're going to overcome any feeling of, anxiety that we have, any stress. And one big thing to do here is just to warm up. So can everybody make sure that you guys are downloading StarU? You should create a StarU student account. Like I said, it's free. And then please give me a thumbs up when you have your StarU student account downloaded. Okay, thumbs up in the chat, guys, for anybody that's taking the test today. Thumbs up in the chat that you guys have a StarU student account downloaded. And that you're just looking at the home page that you're currently seeing. On my screen. Again, it's free and it takes 2 seconds to create a student account. But the reason that this is important is because when you're standing in line waiting to register, so just hang tight, guys. After you've downloaded the app, I want everybody, you're going to see this ACT and SAT practice lessons on the home page. Okay, and you should click that. My iPad would work anymore. Okay, you click that. And for ACT test takers, for the next 5 minutes, I want you guys to be doing some practice problems, right? If you click ACT, SAT practice problems on the home page, and then you click ACT English at the top there, I want you guys to be doing some practice English problems because lo and behold, right when you start this in 10 minutes, right, when we start the real test in 10 minutes, you're going to be doing ACT English problems, right? And rather than getting into that mindset of, oh, I want to fail this, right? Or standing in line and getting nervous, this is the same thing with SAT. If you're taking the SAT with us today, you can click SAT, right? On the top of the page, you can slide over and click SAT, and then do some SAT reading warm-up problems. Because again, guys, you're going to be doing that on the real test. Think about everything else you do in life, whether you're in the play, if you're in a musical, whatever extracurricular activity you do, if you play a sport. You oftentimes show up an hour before the game starts or before the show or whatever in order to get warmed up. Yet I can't tell you how often I see students show up to this test and they're standing in line not thinking about the exam. They're on their phone looking at Instagram, right? Or they're talking with their friends about how badly they're going to do, right? Or they're arguing with their parent about, why do we park so far away? All that kind of stuff does not help us get ready for this test. And it's amazing because an hour before the game starts, everybody's getting right. Everybody's in the mindset to warm up and get ready to go. And any individual sporting event in high school or any play that you're in, musical, is not even close to as important as this test is. Yet we take those sporting events and those shows so much more seriously. So I want everybody to be doing practice problems for the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lot. And we're going to talk a lot about this in the program when we start those lessons tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about this. So again, I want everybody to be logged in. Okay, and then if you're taking the English section, if you're taking the ACT with us today, it doesn't matter which section you do. I just want you to be reading, right? You see pronouns here, and you see a bunch of lesson chapters dealing with pronouns. Then you click tap to start at the bottom, right? And then when you click the tap to start button, you can do practice problems right there on your phone. So I want everybody to be doing this now so that we're all ready to go in 5 to 10 minutes when you actually get ready to start the exam, rather than being flustered and worried in the first 5 problems and potentially making simple mistakes. No, instead we're really locked in and we're thinking about ACT English because we were just completing those problems on our phones, right? So please make sure that you guys are doing that now. Can everybody say good to go if you guys are currently looking at these practice problems? Good to go if you're currently looking at these practice problems? I posted where you guys can find these too, so I'd like everybody to download this. Okay, great. Thanks, Lachlan. Perfect. I just posted it again. So, Lachlan, just keep going. If you finish, guys, if you finish one set, okay, if you finish one set of practice problems, then go back and continue to do another one. We're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get started at about the 55-minute mark. So 50 to 55, we'll get started with the real test. But for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I want you guys to be doing these because these are the exact same practice problems you're about to see on the ACT English test. If you guys are doing these practice problems, if you're warming up now, then when the actual exam starts, it's not going to feel any different than it normally does. And that is, I just, again, cannot stress how important that is. So you guys will see that in the chat. Should look like this on the home screen, guys. Okay, so again, we're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes here warming up ACT and SAT practice lessons on the home screen, and then you're going to be doing some practice problems and warming up here. Guys, while these guys are warming up, once again, if you're just joining us, if you have general questions about the ACT or the SAT, if you're interested in starting our classroom program tomorrow, which will only be available to classroom students, unlike this first practice test, if you guys have any questions about that, or if you are interested in joining our membership program, which you can see below, click join. There's some perks that you guys can get, including access to our teachers and tutors. Hang tight, and I'll answer any questions, general questions about the SAT or the ACT as soon as we're warmed up and I get these guys started with the practice test. If you are taking the practice test with us, guys, right now you should be doing practice problems on the StarU app. You guys can see it in the background of my screen. I want you to click ACT English if you're taking the ACT today. I want you guys to be doing some warm-up practice problems as we get started, before we get started here. Very, very critical that we're doing this stuff, guys. Think about how important it is that you warm up before a sporting event. Your coach makes you get there an hour early. Yet for this, I can't stress how often we see students that just show up and their, first 10 questions, they make so many simple mistakes just because, right? Because they haven't warmed up, because they haven't been thinking about this. So again, 10 minutes or so. We'll get started, I guess, in another 5. You finish one ACT lesson, just move on to the next one. Do the next set of practice problems. Yeah, so guys, for anybody asking questions about the SAT or the ACT internationally, I'm going to talk about that because we've had a lot of questions about that recently. There's some benefits actually when you take the SAT or the ACT internationally because you get to take it on a computer. If you practice for that, there's a lot less resources available, a lot fewer resources available. But if you practice for it and you understand the formatting, there actually are some benefits to that. And again, I'll answer some more of those questions as we go. Another 5 minutes, guys, or so of warming up. And we'll get started with the real practice test for anybody that's taking the practice test with us today. Okay, guys, keep warming up. About 2 more minutes of this, 2 or 3 more minutes. I'll blow my nose real quick. All right, guys, for those taking the practice test with us, can you guys give me a good to go? Does everybody feel pretty warmed up? Feel ready? Everybody feeling good to go here? Again, the premise of this practice, this warm-up stuff, guys, is not to make everybody feel super overwhelmed, okay? Not to make everybody feel super overwhelmed. Perfect, Lachlan, great, Robert. It's not to make you guys feel really overwhelmed, okay? It's the idea, you guys, is that we want you to make sure you're thinking about this test. We'll get more and more into it in the program as we keep going through this. But I want you guys to make sure that you're thinking about this test before you guys start the actual exam. I can't stress to you how often we see students miss simple mistakes in the first 10 English questions, or if you're taking the SAT, the first 10 SAT reading questions, solely because you're not thinking about it. Remember, this is it's 8 a.m. or it's 9 a.m. wherever you are in the country or wherever you are in the world on a Saturday. This is not the ideal time to be taking a test of any sort. So we got to make sure that we're taking the step ahead of anybody else in this situation, because everybody's going to be in the same boat here. So how can we be at the front of the boat, right? What do we need to do to make sure that we're doing that we've warmed up, that we're thinking about this exam? We'll talk a lot more about it during the program, but I just want everybody to get a kind of feel for this and a taste for this. Okay, so for all ACT test takers, here's the process, okay? I'm going to stay online here for the next hour or so, okay? So just to make sure that all of you guys have the opportunity to ask questions, if you run into any problems for any ACT or SAT test takers, I'm going to stay online here on this live stream for another hour or so after I get you guys started. After that, right, you guys are going to follow this video tutorial that I'm about to post in the classroom, or rather in the chat. If you guys are taking the test with us today, here's what I need you to do. Please make sure that you follow these instructions, okay? Yeah, and you guys, I would encourage nobody to take the ACT writing section anymore. If you're already signed up for it, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But the SAT got rid of the writing. There is going to be, I think as of June, SAT has no more writing, and I expect ACT to follow that. So if you have the opportunity to not sign up for writing, don't sign up for it. I don't think colleges have basically said they're not really considering that as part of the application process anymore. So Lachlan, great question. We won't take the writing section today. This will, for everybody, even if you have signed up for the writing section, this will only be, so yeah, lucky for you guys, right? This will only be the 4 major sections of the ACT or SAT exam, just the 4 main ones that go into your overall score. So 36. The writing section wasn't actually factored into the overall score beforehand, so that's kind of why college is like, well, why are we even considering this? You know, we have a bunch of essays and writing samples that you'll already submit for other reasons in college apps. So Lachlan, great question. Does that make sense? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if that makes sense? 1 thumbs up before we get started. No writing today, and for any of our practice tests, guys, we won't use the writing section for that reason. Okay? Great question, Lachlan. Thank you. All right, so guys, so again, ACT or SAT test takers, if you're actually taking the exam with us today, here's the process. You're going to mute me, okay? You're going to mute me on the live stream, but I do not want you to exit out of this live stream if you're taking a practice test with us today, because like I said, I'm going to be on for another hour, and I don't want you guys to be scrambling if you do have a question. If there is something that comes up administratively, obviously I can't answer any questions for you that were related to the actual test form, but if there's any administrative questions, if you run into any issues, I want you to be able to quickly ask a question within this chat. So the process, again, if you're taking the test with us today, I'm going to post the full walkthrough. The walkthrough is going to have timers on the screen. It's going to be a full proctoring video. We've already warmed up, so at the very beginning of the proctoring video, there's a short thing about warming up. You guys can skip forward to where the process starts, where you can timers on the screen, then you can jump back a little bit and then start the exam. Okay, but when you start this video, I don't want you to pause the proctoring video for any reason unless prompted. There will be breaks, but part of the thing that we see from students all the time, once I post this, is that a lot of students will pause the video, right? Because their sibling is yelling in the background at their mom. That you can't pause the test on real test day. So if you're wondering, we see students who have practice tests that sometimes the practice test will be way higher than it is on the real test. And you know, one of the things that we always talk about with parents and students, if that happens, is how closely simulated was this real testing environment? Because again, there are going to be distractions on the real test day. There's not going to be somebody yelling in the background, but there's a proctor's going to be going in and out of the door. There's a lot of potential for distractions on a real test day, and you just have to battle through it. So that's exactly what you have to do today. So when I post this video for you guys, I want you to start the video. And then unless prompted, you will be prompted. There's timers on the screen, and then it says, like, take a 10-minute break now, and there's a timer for the break, right? But unless prompted, don't pause the video for any reason, okay? So again, you're going to mute this live stream that you have going on right now so you guys can't hear me. You're going to put that up in the corner somewhere on a different tab. So if you do have questions in the next hour as you go through this, after an hour, I think you'll have a fairly good sense of what's going on, okay? And then you're going to start this proctoring video, and you're not going to pause it unless prompted by the video. So again, one more time, can anybody that's taking the practice test with us today give me a good to go? We're going to start with ACT test takers. I'm going to post the proctoring video for both standard timing and if you have accommodations, if you have extended timing, I'll post the video for that one as well. And then I'll get started with the SAT test takers. And then for anybody that has a general question about these exams, we'll answer those questions as soon as we get started with these, okay? So guys, with that in mind, if you're taking the ACT practice test with us today, ACT. Okay guys, if you're taking the ACT practice test with us today, again, you're going to mute me on this live stream. I'm about to post this. So this is the standard timing video. I just posted the link to that. Click that link that's now posted in the chat. then you guys can get started with the test. You're going to mute this live stream, put me up in the corner, and then you guys can start the standard timing ACT practice test. And good luck, guys. You guys are going to crush it. For anybody that's in our classroom programs, I'm going to post instructions in the classroom group on what to do after you're done with the test. So don't worry there. Otherwise, good luck. Stay focused. Make sure you don't pause the video because we want to simulate this as if it's the real test. And you guys are going to do great today. If you have accommodations timing, okay, guys, if you have accommodations timing for the ACT, I'm going to post the extended timing video for that. Okay. And just like I said before, if you do have accommodations timing, okay, guys, if you do have accommodations timing, you guys can click this video link here. Same instructions. Once you start the video, please don't pause it for any reason, and keep this live stream open in the corner somewhere so that if you do have questions for me in the next hour, you guys can ask those questions. So there's the ACT proctoring video with accommodations timing. If you're taking the SAT with us today, guys, if you're taking the SAT, can everybody that's taking the SAT, if you're taking the full practice test today, can everybody give me a thumbs up? Full practice test, if you're taking the SAT, can you give me a thumbs up? I'm going to post the standard timing for the SAT proctoring. This is the same video. Okay, guys, if you're taking the SAT practice test with us today, same instructions. I want you guys to mute me on this live stream. Put me up in the corner somewhere so that you guys have, okay, so that you can still ask questions if you have any over the course of the next hour while I stay online. If you're taking the SAT practice test with us today, here's the SAT exam. You guys can click that video, and again, try not to pause it for any reason unless prompted on the screen. There will be breaks, but try not to pause it for any reason or to take a break unless prompted, right? And then finally, guys, if you're taking the SAT and you have accommodations timing, here's the accommodations timing video. Okay. So if you guys have extended timing on the SAT, you guys can click that video link, and same instructions apply. Mute this video, put this live stream up in the corner somewhere so that you guys have access to it. Otherwise, today, guys, thank you for joining us. For anybody that's taking the test, good luck. You guys are going to crush it. Okay, keep working hard. And for program students, I'll post more information in the classroom group so that you guys can you know what to do after you're done taking the test today. In the meantime, guys, I'm happy to answer any questions over the course of the next hour for students that are not taking the test today but just have general questions about the ACT and SAT exam. You guys can post those in the live chat. And yeah, I'll stay on for the next hour or so, guys. So post your comments or questions in the chat, and I'm happy to answer those. And while you guys are posting that, give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab my coffee. Okay? Good luck to everybody taking the test today. And again, if you have any general questions, go ahead and ask those in the live chat. Give me 1 sec. Okay, students, it looks like nobody else has any more questions related to the test. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Where I'm going to sign off now, just because again, it doesn't look like anybody that's actually taking the test today with us, the practice test, has any further questions. So everybody got started. That's great. If you guys have any questions for me or for any of our teachers and tutors over the course of the next few days, or until we produce another live stream or another video, please don't hesitate to comment below these videos with your questions, your comments. One of our teachers, or me included, will answer those questions. And otherwise, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. For those that are taking the test, keep working hard. Make sure you're following the video as closely as you can. And yeah, guys, we'll see you guys for the next live stream. Okay? Keep it up, guys. You're doing great. Okay, guys, this time I am signing off for real. I just wanted to answer those final questions from Lee there. But if you guys have any questions for us going forward, please don't hesitate to comment below these videos. We're happy to answer those questions as quickly as we can. Our teachers and tutors are on standby to help answer those questions. So please make sure that you're participating as much as you can while you watch these videos. Again, if you watch and you comment, we'll be answering those questions as you go. So yeah, but we obviously can't answer the question if you don't ask it. So don't be afraid. There's no bad question. There are bad questions, but if there are such things as bad questions if you're not paying attention. Okay, but if you're paying attention and you're focused and you're really thinking about these things and you ask a question because you want to clarify something, then there really is no such thing as a bad question. So make sure that you guys ask those. Otherwise, guys, have a great rest of your weekend wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world. Have a great rest of your weekend. Keep working hard. I promise it'll pay off. And if again, let us know in the comments or wherever, or in the next live stream. We'll have these live chats and live streams going for the next few months. Look out for our AP US History video that's going to come out this coming week. Three easy tips to score a 5 on the AP US History exam. Look out for that. Otherwise, guys, again, have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you soon.